Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe P's up here. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, hanging out in the chat. And it's somebody's birthday today. Not the Welsh. We already did that one. Not mine either. It's our producer, Michael Cowley. Let's wish him a happy birthday in the chat. Our producer who's every day, and Seth, our other producer here at Fantasy Pros, hanging out with us today, learning the ones and twos. So it's kind of like when Nick Kurtz came up to the big leagues and he had orientation, Welsh. That's how I look at today.
Where he sat. Yeah, he sat for the day. Isn't that ironic too? This is going to be like, it's a Callie's birthday and it's going to be like his last show. Like we're going to get our other producer coming in here. He's just, happy birthday. You don't have to come and hang out with us anymore, Callie. There you go.
That was his wish. He blew out his candles. And please don't let me work with those morons a single second longer. That was what he was trying to say. But you know, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody should get their birthday wishes at the end of the day. And my wish is to give away our latest giveaway to one of our beautiful Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, because we've got a Jose Ramirez Guardians jersey signed by Jose Ramirez from pristineauction.com. All you need to do to get involved to win this bad boy is to drop your comments below and ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications. And that's it. Be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros MLB on the YouTube channel. That's how you do it. So if you're watching on video on demand, drop your comments, subscribe to the channel, and win this bad boy. We're live on our Twitch every single Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. Let's get to the baseball. And I'm mad, Welsh, because I was going back and forth yesterday morning. I had Santander and I had Soto, and I took him out and I put Santander, and then I thought about it again and I said, no, just leave it alone. And I should have had Soto because he had 2 home runs yesterday and I would be very close to the board going into the weekend. So bummer. Just wanted to vent about that. People are complaining that Juan Soto somehow is not living up to his expectations, which is just hilarious to me. Juan Soto still have an OBP that's close to 400. I just don't understand.
I think it's true. I think that's true, but it's because the expectations are, he's sky high. Does that mean he's going to be a disappointment? It's been 1 month. Everybody relax, but he's hitting 250. And he got $1 gajillion. So I think it's fair to say he's not living up to expectations.
Okay, but 5 homers, 14 ribbies, 2 steals, and 822.
Well, he had 3 homers before yesterday, though. 3 homers before yesterday. Let's point that out. There's a little bit of a disappointment, but it was all the anticipation in the world was with him. The expectations are higher on him than almost any other player in baseball. So I think that's relatively fair, but he's heating up. And that's why you don't, knock him too far down. I just did my redraft. I'm messing with my redraft rankings, and I actually find it really tough with him as far as like the redraft outfield ranks go, because, he was sky high, but Kyle Tucker's been amazing. Tatis has been amazing. Corbin Carroll higher. I moved them all above Soto, but he's still top 5.
Okay. Like I said, nobody can live up to that contract. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. All he has to do is just be Juan Soto. Just play. That's all that's got to happen there. We do have some Mike Trout updates, too, that just came across a little while ago. I will share them with you in just a moment. I want to get to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Another go-ahead home run for him, 3-run dinger in the 8th. Blue Jays get the victory, 4-2 over the Red Sox. Paul Skenes wasn't great yesterday.
No.
The start before, fantastic against the Dodgers. 5 innings, 3 runs. I think this is just he's human. 2 strikeouts. That was the big bummer against the Cubs. Any takeaways or anything? You just think it's meh, bad start, shake it off, or any problems you saw yesterday from Skenes?
Yeah, I was watching this one. He definitely wasn't himself. 52% fastball percentage, sweeper splitter. This is like the Zach Gallen thing I've been focused on. You don't throw enough strikes. He's different, Skenes, because you've got these monster big pitches. But it's like if you don't throw enough strikes, people are not gonna they're not going to try to like push through anything. It's like you can just sit on, let's say, a fastball. If all the pitches are not going for strikes, and it's just you sit on a fastball and you get it in somewhere in the zone. He wasn't in the zone in this one. 25% whiff rate, probably one of the lowest we've seen. He had 1 whiff on his fastball, and his called strike and whiff percentage was 26%. Super mediocre. They got to him quite early, and I don't think there's anything else to take away outside of like he is a bit human. Velo was down a tiny bit, little tick, like half mile per hour, but he's just not invincible, I think is the big key.
All right, let's get a question here from Red Sox fan. I need pitching. Do I give up Devers for Shota, Bybee, Myers, or try to push for Crochet? Well, you're not getting Crochet for Devers, so unless you're pushing Juan Soto into that mix instead. Let's see. Shota for Devers. I would do that. I don't love Shota's deeper stats, but I would do that.
It's the only one I would really do. Like, I like Meyer. Bybee's struggling right now, but neither one of those guys I think are worth the push unless you've been like Joe and you're just like, this is bad and I'm out on Devers. I would say it's Shota or not do that trade, or go and try for Crochet if you can.
Lee's got a question here too, or more of a statement. You guys should get the Luchador mask ready for Cinco de Mayo. So that's going to be on Monday. So I'm gonna have to shake that dust off, right?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Monday is Cinco de Mayo. So I've got mine. It's back there. It's right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
No worries.
Alter
so
ego.
Maybe we'll have to bring that back. I have to do a little Cinco de Mayo here with Joey Cannoli.
Little stinko.
We can only hope that we can get one of those. We can only hope. Speaking of stinko, let's talk about Mike Trout.
Oh, man.
He is going to go in the IL with a bone bruise in his surgically repaired left knee. And that brings us to today's Microsoft Chasing Challenger segment. Because just like the athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible, business decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities, and Microsoft meets you where you are with tools and guidance to help you make an impact with safe and secure AI solutions. So whatever challenges you're facing, Microsoft empowers you with the expertise to say, bring it on. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the challenges facing anybody that's rostering Mike Trout. I know nobody wanted to hear it 2 weeks ago, but I asked the question out loud several times. Is this the time to get out for Mike Trout? And it looks like 2 years in a row, when I asked the question, the answer was yes. And this pains me. People think I take joy in this. I don't. I hate that I have this ability to sense the reality of things and look at the downside of things far often more than not. And Mike Trout is a Hall of Famer. Mike Trout at his peak is one of the best baseball players I think any of us have ever seen. But we're in a spot now from a fantasy investment standpoint, even though you got him cheaper than you ever have before, he's still a liability hitting under 200. Yeah, there's some power, but his inability to stay on the field is absolutely crushing. And it sucks. It's terrible. It's frustrating. I don't have the answer for it, except maybe when it comes off the IL, if he has another good stretch, you take your second shot and you trade him off of that because you missed window number 1. Do you get a window number 2? Maybe. I hope so. But that is this week's Chasing Challenges. Remember, Microsoft AI solutions empower you to take bold steps and have new ideas to help drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. So, Welsh, I'll pose this question to you. If you get a second chance to deal Mike Trout by the end of May, are you taking it?
Maybe. I'm not looking forward to this today because getting the "I told you so" Joe probably my worst like
Joe Stradamus.
Yeah, well, the least like version of Joe that I know,
which is saying
one of my best friends. Yeah, one of my best friends, the least like version. Because here's where I disagree. There hasn't been a selling point. You keep talking about this. There has not been a selling point. He hasn't hit over 200. Yes, he's hit some homers, but it's like the selling point of Eugenio Suarez. There isn't
Easter
a selling
weekend
point
where he had 2 almost 3 homers on that Saturday night, and then Sunday was back at it, smacking balls all over the place. That was, you could feel the surge of, oh my God, here we go. Let's get on the Trout train. I think that was it. And that's when I came in Monday. I said, maybe it's time.
Yeah, I just don't think it's there based on the cost equity of like where you ended up getting him to the injury. Things are still okay. This isn't the back. Unfortunately, the surgically like repaired knees and stuff like that has a concern. They're pretty minimal about this. They're like, they think this is going to be low. Bone bruises are scary. But my problem would have been if this was something in like the back, a degenerative issue that was going to carry over. But if they're saying it's not too crazy, okay, so let's take that out. It's definitely frustrating that he's injured. But the cost was built in. Mike, when you drafted Mike Trout, it doesn't matter if you drafted him in the 3rd round or the 10th round or the 15th round, no matter what you've done, the cost should have been built in that he would miss time. So if you drafted him without thinking he was going to hit an IL at some point, you're a silly goose. So this is one of those situations. Now, if he comes back and he gets, back into like that contact-based Mike Trout, he had an expected batting average of almost 250 this season. Still not great, but about 80 points higher than, or 70 points higher than he was hitting right now. If you get back to that, and you want to get out from under it because you know he could hit a bag too hard and he could get hurt, like that's the time to do it. But this was built in. He was going to miss time no matter what. It's like a Jacob deGrom. If Jacob deGrom goes on the IL, I don't want to hear anybody being like, oh, I told you so. Duh. He's not going to pitch the whole season. So wait till he gets back and bounces.
So let's take him top 20 overall. Let's take him.
Well, I mean, I didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't.
I know, but in a lot of people's list, that's where he was. That's why it's just madness for me. Look, I'm a businessman, Welsh. You know me. Anybody in their place, right? The right price. Okay, I'm listening. I thought the price was intriguing this year on Trout for the first time in a long time. Yeah. And even still, I got 0 shares. Good question here from Game Over. Jackson Merrill when he returns or Garrett Crochet, 10-team Roto. Who would you rather have? What side of that deal?
Ooh, I think Crochet. I had Crochet preseason right there. I'd probably go with it. I mean, it's also maybe like what's your need. You know, if you want the like 2020 outfielder with a good average, Merrill. If you need the offense, if you need the pitching, clearly Crochet.
Yeah. Here's another one from JB. And who wins this trade? I get Jordan and Yanier and send Edman and Contreras. You win when you get Jordan. This is easy.
Jordan has struggled though.
Jordan for Edman, I don't care.
No. I agree. I'm not trying to do any of that. Like it is clearly Jordan Alvarez, but the reason that it's coming up is because he's hitting 219. Expected is way lower. Underlying profile is just kind of like under where he's been. This is a knee injury worries. But like Edman and William Contreras is a laughable return for a guy like Jordan Alvarez who struggled for 1 month.
Yeah. Here's one from Cookie. Jackson Holiday droppable at this point. Depends on what's on the waiver wire, but especially in shallow leagues, 100%. And how long are you giving Kurtz or we giving Kurtz? More time. I'm giving him another 2 to 3 weeks. Welsh, what's your patience level there? I mean, you called him up. I don't think the Athletics are just going to send him right back down. I think that would be kind of stupid.
Yeah, you guys spent equity on getting him and picking him up. So it's like, should you be done after like a week or two? I would give him, I mean, to be honest with you, you should probably give him till May. If you don't want to start him, don't start him. I got some situations where I'm not putting him in the starting lineup right now to get figured out, but at least 2 more weeks, at least.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jackson Holiday is droppable in like 10-team leagues he is, but I'm still not trying to do it anything higher.
That's fair. More news. The Welsh was Welstradamus. Shelby Miller, perfect 9th. See, you get things right on the show too. I give you credit when you get things right. It's funny.
It's great when you say it like that too.
I always pop the Welsh. I'm like, look at Shelby Miller. Look how good. I'm right about selling Trout 2 weeks ago. I'm the villain.
No. I give you credit.
Oh, I'm a bad guy. I'm the villain. I'm Joe. Oh, every time I'm right about something, nobody's happy. I'm ecstatic.
I give you tons of credit. That one, that's a specific one. That's a very specific one that I still don't agree with.
So it hurts you.
Yeah, and it's also annoying.
It's just business. It's just business, Welsh.
You're Aaron Judge the other day. You're doing fine.
So Shelby Miller, what's the value on the waiver wire of Shelby Miller right now?
I think it's pretty good. I was actually doing a little live stream myself yesterday, and I was taking a look, and I was like, let's take a look at the order of what they did the day before with the Diamondbacks, and they had a full healthy roster, and they went Ginkel. They went Shelby, and then they went Justin Martinez. So I kind of speculated midway through that Diamondbacks game, I think we're going to see Shelby. He's had a great fastball this year. He's had one blip, but he's been kind of unhittable. Ginkel's coming back from an injury. Let's see what goes on. Now, to be fair, Ginkel came in a high leverage situation. He was facing Lindor. He was facing Soto. And he gave up a bomb to Soto. So he gave up a bomb to Soto, got to those guys, almost blew it all.
After that, he looked.
Well, he got out of it. He put those guys on second and third, and then he got out of the inning. That was great. And Shelby came in and cleaned that bad boy up. So I think whatever it is, it's for a month at least. I think Justin Martinez is going to be out for a month. I personally think it's going to be Shelby the way through. But there's a possibility that Ginkel is their fireman and could get a couple of those save situations. So act accordingly. I do think he's going to be more the primary guy. I don't think it's bad to have speculated on Ginkel. I don't think yesterday told us everything, but I sure do think that they are going to go to Shelby in this next outing. So, what do you spend? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Luke Weaver.
Depending on your need. I think that's
it's like a Luke Weaver / Cade Smith, what you were doing with him, I think you should do.
I would put Weaver over him if it was priority waivers for sure, because the Yankees already like him in that role. By the way, a poll up there, 70-30 time to sell Mike Trout is the yes, it is time. So maybe you get a second chance.
Why would you sell him when he's hitting under 200
now.
and
I'm saying the second time when he comes back, because you said,
is that how we phrased it?
And I think the phrasing is when you get the next opportunity to get out, you don't miss this second time. I think
if that's how we phrased it, then that's fine. If we just said, should we sell Mike Trout now? That's silly.
Well, Luceros, by the way, question.
No, yeah, that's what it was right there. Time to sell right now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but he just phrased it. Time to sell Trout.
Yeah, but I gave the caveat if you get a second chance. I think the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are very bright. You know, you got to give them credit. Even Uncle Baby Billy, despite all of his Bible bonking that he does. So Vester Shelby, I just want to get this question answered for the Luceros.
Shelby.
Okay, there you go. See how easy that was? All right. Also in the bad news department, a lot of bad news. Don't worry, we got some fun stuff on the show today. But Jake Berger sent down to AAA. He's at $190 with a 231 OBP, a 330 slugging. I mean, just awful. 32 strikeouts, just 3 walks in 30 games. Welsh, what happened to Jake Berger?
Yeah, this is Welsh L for sure. Excuse me. I thought we were going to bounce back. I still stupidly do think we are going to get back to it, but this is a bad sign. His strikeout rate is up. Ironically, though, you look across the board, if you're trying to like piecemeal, who he is as an underlying hitter, it's kind of the same. He's barreling, he's hitting the ball hard, he is striking out, and he's making like a little bit less worse contact, but that's feels like he could bounce back. Against fastballs, he's hitting 125, but an expected 233. And he had, at least in the first couple of weeks when I was really active about buying him, he had one of the lowest BABIPs in baseball. It's still low at 239, but it's really materialized a lot better. But yeah, this is an L. It's a total L on Berger because they're going to let him go get right. He's going to come back down. Maybe they're going to mess with swings and stuff. When he comes, I'm going to tell you right now, when he comes back up, I am picking him back up because I think we can get back to that version, but he is a massive cut right now.
He's going to be one of the most dropped guys this week. I can guarantee you. So if you are in a deeper league and someone drops him, I'm with Welsh. Pick him up for $2 and see what happens because I'm sure he'll figure out whatever mechanically is wrong. Something is wrong. Very wrong here. I mean, Jake Berger is a streaky guy. He is prone to strikeouts, but he's a very powerful hitter. He was really good with the White Sox. Marlins, like this is an opportunity here to buy on for nothing. So I would do it. And if you have been with us since the beginning, if you're an OG Peanuts and Cracker Jacks member, then this bit of news here is going to really hit home for you. And you're going to get this joke. The Tigers designated Kenta Maeda for assignment. That's Kenta Maeda, Welsh.
What would be great is if he signed with the Mets. He signed with the Mets. It would be pretty great.
Kenta Maeda, not Yusei Kikuchi. Kenta Maeda. So,
speaking of that jersey I got someday. That is sad. That is very sad. Kenta, bad fall for a beloved character on the show.
A beloved character on the show. Kenta Maeda. All right, let's get to the 3 up and 3 down. Luis Robert drove in 4 runs. Somebody's getting hot. Stole a base. Let's go. Zach Gallen. You got the good Gallen yesterday. 4-2 win over the Mets. There 8 strikeouts for Gallen in that one. And Seiya Suzuki, not 1, but 2 homers there in a win over the Pirates. So big day from Seiya. The downs, Craig Yoho gave up 5 runs, walked 4, only got 3 outs there.
Walked against the plank.
Yeah, he walked the plank indeed. Shane Baz was 0 for 3 on bets yesterday. Just brutal. Yeah. Shane Baz, what happened? 7 runs, 9 hits, 5 2/3 against the Royals, a team that can't get out of their own way to score runs. What in the world, Welsh?
You know what? It's very funny. So while I was doing the stream, I was looking at his stuff, and I got this envision of Shane Baz being just like Zach Gallen. The only difference is Shane Baz has a good fastball. Zach Gallen does not have a good fastball. But what's been the issue with Zach Gallen all year? If he's not commanding the fastball, he can't get the knuckle curve and the changeup to do the stuff. What happened with Shane Baz? He did not throw for strikes the fastball, and the knuckle curve and changeup, which he both throws, were not effective. And he was super, super ineffective. He had command issues. There's been some commandy issue games that are out there. He's got a much better fastball. Probably, frankly, even though Gallen was good in this last start, I might prefer Boz on the big strikeout side. But, he's got a little bit of Zach Gallen in him where there might be consistencies if the fastball isn't going for strikes. He's just not getting to those other. And Gallen does a better job, at least in the past, of being able to throw those secondaries for strikes. Boz needs to learn to do that. But it wasn't there. And it kind of shows you I got a lot of crap from some people about not having Shane Boz higher in my dynasty ranks. And he should be high, but it's like, just because of like 4 starts doesn't make him infallible.
Well, going back to last year, they were very good. I saw the tracks on his starts. I think it was the last 12 I was thinking like a week or two ago when I was putting together some stats for the TV show on Sunday on Sports Grid. And it was very impressive. Like you go back and think over the 12 starts and he was just brilliant. For the most part, just really solid quality start machine, so look, bad outings from him yesterday, bad outings from Skenes. We hate that. One more down on the day, and we'll get to some more questions. William Contreras 0 for 4, snapped a 9-game hitting streak. Here's a question from Michael, friend of the show. Buxton or Luis Robert? It's Luis Robert for me, and it ain't close.
Yeah. Buxton is actually surprisingly, the counting stats, like you go look, you're like, whoa, 6 homers and 7 stolen bases. Batting average is still struggling. That's kind of Luis Robert-esque, but Robert is kind of coming out of some of the bad. He is loud counting stats. There's an injury history, but it's not as big as Buxton's, and we assume a trade is going to be happening in the near future. So it's Robert for sure.
All right, little rookie time. Bubba Chandler, 1 run, 5 innings, 9 strikeouts in AAA. What are we waiting for, Welsh? It's got to be this week, right? It has to be this week.
I personally believe the next start is in the majors. They've said nothing.
I agree too.
So, I could easily be wrong about this. I guess that would line up to like Tuesday. I think we get an announcement this weekend that he's going to make a start on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. They'll make a little bit of a to-do about it. They'll give us a little bit of a heads up. I could be wrong. I think there was some discourse out there about how the Pirates had brought up, I think it was Jared Jones or Skenes, whatever, around mid-May. So mid-May is that number they like to do. So it might be a tad bit early, but I don't know what you're wasting your bullets for. He was great again. He's hitting 100. He's throwing all of his pitches for strikes now. So get him in there, pick him up. I think it's this next one. They might push us one more, but
he's going to be a 5-inning pitcher in the major leagues. We know this. Like, don't expect him to go out there and, throw complete game shutouts anytime soon or anything like that. He will be limited.
He throws a lot of pitches because he's a strikeout guy too. Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. He's a 5-inning pitcher. Understand that and realize that maybe, just maybe, is peripheral as the whip in the ERA because of maybe some inefficiencies there. It might be a little artificially high. But
think of Jared Jones.
You're getting him for strikeouts. Yeah, you're getting him for strikeouts. Well, Jared Jones was pretty efficient last April and May. He was going into the 7th inning some of those starts.
I completely agree with that. But I think Bubba Chandler could come in and be more efficient because Jared Jones is a big primary 2-pitch pitcher. Bubba's got 4 that he can go to, and he's got one of the best fastballs out there. So I actually think I won't be surprised if Bubba is able to go 6. The problem is, again, like he throws, it's kind of Dylan Cease-like. Like he throws a lot of pitches, he gets strikeouts, but then all of a sudden you're 95 pitches into the 5th inning and you can't go much further. But, what are you spending? That's relative, I suppose, to your league, but like he's the number 1 pitching prospect out there to pick up. He would have probably a full season in front of him. So I would be pretty aggressive. I would be shocked if he goes for less than 20 to 25% of anyone's fab in wherever you're at in your league right now.
Ross Pants lost Westberg, Jazz, and possibly Campbell. Would you offer Sandy for Simeon in a 14-team head-to-head categories league? You know what? I think I would.
That's a poop for poop.
It's poop for poop, but I don't think Simeon's a guy with a 500 OPS the rest of the season. Alcantara is going to take a little bit longer, I think.
I think it's fine. I think they're both like generally players that are like massively underperforming that I do believe are going to bounce back. Alcantara is really weird right now. Simeon this is what he does, but he is getting older. But I think that's a fine trade, especially if you're just banged up across the board.
Welsh, is Hogland worth a stream? This is from Michael.
Gunnar Hogland coming up today. What is interesting about it is it's Miami and the strikeouts. Yeah, maybe. Hogland has had a lot of injuries, but his velo's up as he's healthy this year. Fastball is back up. I think he's throwing his slider harder. He's had a really, really good early minor league season. yeah, I think you can stream him against the Marlins if you.
I was just looking at him this morning because I do the rookie report as a segment too. So Friday I get everything ready for Sunday, right? 2.43 ERA, currently 6 starts, 29 innings, 30 strikeouts, just 7 walks. The WHIP is at 1.04. So if you're looking for somebody to pick up and stream for the Athletics, and they could use some help in that rotation, so that would not be crazy. You know what else I saw too? There was a couple guys in that San Francisco system too. Kyle Harrison was one. I'm trying to remember who the other one was. It was kind of popping off there.
In the Giants system?
Numbers. In the Giants system, yeah.
Carson Wisenhunt would be the other one. Wisenhunt's got a great changeup. If that's what you're looking at, Kyle Harrison's been solid as well.
I'll find the other one, but Harrison right now I think is leading the PCL in strikeouts, which I was kind of shocked about. He's at 38 or something like that, I believe. I'm going to find the other name too. I saw Wisenhunt also, but they had a couple guys there that it kind of surprised me that that's where the stats were for those pitchers right now. I'm trying to find it right now. Here we go. Let's go. International League, Pacific Coast League, please. Okay, so we're looking at this. Kyle Harrison, 38 strikeouts, 8 walks, 3.46 ERA. Caden Dana, obviously with the Angels, 2.45 ERA. He's pitched pretty well. Wisenhunt has pitched well. There was another guy. No, Carson Seymour. That was the other guy. 30 strikeouts, 11 walks. He's got a 1.93 ERA. I know it wasn't Wisenhunt. I knew it was somebody else. So they've got 3 legit arms down there right now that are crushing it. Do you see the Giants making any moves here as some of these rotation spots, as we start to get deeper into May and then June, where some of these kids might make some, Harrison's had his cup of coffee already in the big leagues, but do you think you might see some of these changes for the Giants at some point?
Maybe. It's funny. Baby Billy put in, I was going to say Joe Whitman too. I like Joe Whitman. Yeah. I think what's more, and maybe I'm not 100% sure if you were meaning like that they were going to make changes to put these young guys in, or they were going to move these young guys. Cause I think it's more likely that they would move some of these young guys. The problem is that division is just ridiculous with the Padres, shout out to Cali, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Are they willing to trade young, controllable pitching for what? I kind of think it's probably more likely that you get some of these young guys in the rotation, but I don't think all of them. I think it is Kyle Harrison and Wisenhunt, if you were speculating, though.
Look, Webb's not going anywhere. Verlander has been, all right. Hicks hasn't been great. Robbie Ray is walking the ballpark. Landon Roop. I don't know. Like, these names don't jump off the page. I'm looking at these kids at AAA in the PCL, no less. Just firing darts, man, striking out guys everywhere. And those guys in that ballpark, right? When you start shifting to a pitcher friendly environment, keep an eye on these guys. I would at least put some watch lists on them. Sure. Injuries to talk about. It does look like we're getting the IL retroactive for Jazz Chisholm. So that news just came out before the show. Gleyber Torres, 3 for 3 with a homer. And then he left the game with an injury. Well, he cannot stay healthy this year. Christian Campbell is day to day right now. We'll keep an eye on that. Walker Buehler. I know Walker Buehler heading for additional testing on his right shoulder after his start on Saturday. He wasn't feeling good about bouncing back, apparently. So that could be a huge blow for this rotation. They just get Giolito back, and now maybe you lose Walker Buehler. That stinks, Welsh.
It does stink. I'm not a big fan of this one. Giolito coming back is like a big boon, but Walker Buehler, if he misses any significant amount of time, because there's some inconsistencies, but like he's been a very startable pitcher. There's going to be more pressure put on Giolito, and I'm not sure that they have the depth out there. They might need to make a move. That team, that division is just wide open right now. If they start, yes, you got Giolito back, but then if you're going to lose Buehler at all, and Richard
got Bayo back too recently, so that was another one that came.
Yeah, but you might need to look at some depth. You might need to make a look at.
So it's Crochet, Giolito, Houck, Buehler, Bayo right now. I don't think they're gonna. I think the experiment of Whitlock in the rotation is done. You would agree, right?
I think so.
Okay. Is there anybody immediately that you'd be looking up, coming up from that system?
No, that's what I was talking about. I just don't think there's like, I don't think there's a guy
who's out there.
No. Yeah. Fitz was the guy before. So, and he's hurt. So I just don't, I think they might need to look for a trade as far as depth goes.
All right. So the Red Sox rotation taking some lumps right now. Sal Perez left the game with hip soreness, so keep an eye on that going into the weekend. If you're in daily transaction leagues, you might need another catcher. Kumar Rocker is going to throw in a bullpen session sometime next week. Corey Seager hopes to be back tomorrow from the IL. That's good news. Cole Reagans will throw a bullpen session Friday. And then Welsh, you were texting with Kenta Maeda, I think, right before the show, right?
When he was on the plane, actually, when he was on the plane flying to Philly, he posted on his Instagram yesterday from Philly. I think Ketel is back in the lineup today. There's a possibility they might want to, have him get there and acclimate and sit, but I don't see why. So I think my dear close friend Kenta Maeda will be back in the lineup today as soon as I haven't looked if the Diamondbacks roster is out. If it's not today, it's tomorrow. But I think it is a Marte Parte, as we say in Arizona.
It's the best kind of party. All right, Welsh, it's that time again. It's time for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh, and I need to come back from yesterday. 0-3 yesterday. Well, we're not going to do that. Let's talk about Francisco Lindor right now to score a run, -125, but he's got great numbers in his career. 3 homers, really tears up Sonny Gray. So I'm looking at Lindor investments tonight. I've got a fun little prop too if you bet the home run with these other 2 here, the Dela Cruz and the Mountcastle numbers that I've got here for you. You can make a real pretty penny. Just $10 gets you 500 in a parlay of that. And hear me out because it's not absurd. Like I said, Lindor owns Sonny Gray. You're getting 5-1 on that. Ellie De La Cruz. Why do I like him to steal a base tonight? Well, Keibert Ruiz has only thrown out about 20% of base runners so far this year. He has not been good, just at 26%. You're getting almost 2-1 here, plus 194 on Ellie De La Cruz to steal a base. The major league dude, when it comes to stolen base, is a good opportunity here for him. And I think that is an investment I am ready to make. I love this one tonight. Again, Keibert struggling to throw runners out. Ellie De La Cruz will take advantage of that, I think, this evening. And then finally, Ryan Mountcastle, plus 170. Now, Mountcastle has not been good. However, against Michael Wacha in 22 at-bats, he has a 1,400 OPS. So it's the perfect time for Ryan Mountcastle to turn things around here. Plus 170 to drive in a run. Again, very good historical numbers. A little batter versus pitcher action tonight here for me with Lindor against Gray, Mountcastle against the aforementioned Michael Wacha. Welsh, what do you have for the folks today on a fun Friday betting stream?
We are going to jump back into some strikeout props. We're going to get back into it. We're going to get to Dylan Cease. We don't often see a 6.5 Dylan Cease, and it's against a Pirates team. So I like this matchup, especially on the top end. I think Dylan Cease could lock this down by the 4th inning. Love if we get one of those 7-inning Dylan Ceases, but plus money at 6.5. There's not a number we see a ton on Dylan Cease. So I'm jumping over that. Max Fried going up against the Rays. Rays kind of bouncing back and forth as far as the strikeouts go, but Max Fried has been absolutely phenomenal. I think we're going to get a big performance out of him today. So minus 120 at 6 strikeouts for Max Fried. You could even parlay them if you want to have fun, but I was crappy yesterday too, so maybe fade. And then I'm going to go with a full game money line play. We're going to go with the Mariners plus 1. It's minus 115. Unfortunately, not a birthday play here. I think it's minus. Maybe I wrote that wrong. I'm not sure. But I think it's a minus money play. Seattle up against the Texas Rangers, but we have got Brian Wu on the mound. And we got, there's no Seager that's there. Yeah, it is minus 115. We got no Corey Seager. We got Berger out of the lineup, which, by the way, might not be the best thing in the world. We might want Jake Berger in there, but Brian Wu just been phenomenal. Offense picking up a little bit. So we're going to go full game Seattle money line minus 115 with a couple strikeout props.
Remember, if you're going to wager, we've got lots of offers going on for you right now. Go to fantasypros.com/leading off, and new customers can place $5 bets. And if it wins, you get $250 in bonus bets from FanDuel today at fantasypros.com/leading off. And don't forget, we've got Betting Pros free trial still available. So once again, the 7-day free trial Betting Pros Premium is out there. You can download the Betting Pros app wherever you get your apps, plug in that code leading off, and you'll unlock exclusive betting tools. So if you're sitting around this weekend, you get lots more access to fun things like the MLB prop bet cheat sheet, the betting systems, and same game parlay builder, Sharp AI, so much more available for you with the best tools on the planet. The free tools are great. The premium tools are even better. So don't be a tool. Use the tools of Betting Pros. Use that promo code leading off when you download. And the prop bet cheat sheet that I just mentioned is fantastic. The prop bet cheat sheet, you could sort it by the different props. You can just plug in the player and you get everything you're looking at. That I'm telling you, it is the absolute cheat code to betting props. So go ahead, get in there, use the premium I talked about before, the promo code leading off, use the prop bet cheat sheet to make you successful this weekend and every day betting Major League Baseball.
By the way, shout out again, our boy Braction with the raid. For the YouTubers out there that don't see it later, but on Twitch, our boy Braction, as he obviously ends out the stream, just bringing the fam in here. So shout out to everybody that's coming to hang in at the end of the show, of course, but shout out for the raid on the Twitch for some Fantasy Pros.
And we had some enormous numbers too, by the way, that I believe we're just about going to surpass all of last year's numbers for views on YouTube for MLB, for Fantasy Pros, already probably sometime next week. And that is crazy. Yeah. And that is about you guys. It's about the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, the people who love the show. I know a lot of you say, well, this is my show, I don't want to share it around. So trust us, share it around. We appreciate it. We like to have the viewers. I know you feel like it's the secret weapon stuff, but if you love baseball and you know people who love baseball, share the channel with them this week.
Do you really want to hide? We're going to be wearing luchador masks on Monday for Cinco de Mayo. Like, you want to hide that?
What a hilarious intro, right? Where you get all of a sudden these people tuning in for the first time on Monday and us wearing luchador masks. That's not jarring at all. Yeah. Let's get to the home run board and see who's in the lead for the Sammy Sosa jersey from Pristine Auction. It's Marty today, tied with
Razor. Wow.
And look at Cookie Chubbs at 13, far out. The Welsh is at 10. I am still lurking. Man, I would have had, what did Wonky say I have yesterday? 6?
I think you would have been like one under the board. Yeah.
I would have been 8 if I had Soto. Instead, I do not. So this weekend, I'm taking Francisco Lindor. That's right. All weekend against the St. Louis Cardinals. He's got good numbers against Sonny Gray. He's got good numbers against Fetty. The Cardinals are not great. Helsley, by the way, is going to get traded sooner than later too. There's a lot of teams that are going to come knocking for him, I think, from St. Louis. So he will be the closer on a contender, I think, sooner than later. But you're getting a huge number on Lindor today if you want to bet it too. Plus 520 right now is that number. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call today? And is it in perpetuity or is it just for Friday?
It is in perpetuity unless I change it over the weekend, which I might. I don't know. I'll get in there, hang out. You know where we can do that, by the way? On the Fantasy Pros Discord. FantasyPros.com/chat. You can join up. We got all the rooms. We got the home run room. We got the cleaning up room for the show, which, by the way, officially Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I actually don't know if it's going to be Rico. Rico's down for the count right now, so we'll have to see what happens there. But in theory, that show's moved. But we do secret shows on there. We've got the home run channel and a ton more. Go and check it out. I can go into that room and make my changes, as you guys can do the same here when you have a Prime account or when you get the sub here using Prime or whatever you do. You get access to the home run contest if you want to do it. Okay, all of that said, I'm going with Schwarberfest. It is not officially Schwarberfest time, but you know what? We brought it up yesterday. It had me thinking. We got Merle Kelly that's going to be pitching today. As a Diamondback fan, of course, I love, but Merrill's going to be the death of us. Luzardo's out there. There's some wind pulling out to right field as well. Schwarber's getting a bomb. I might take 2 today. We're going to push up the board, and he will be my in perpetuity through the weekend until I maybe change it. We'll see. I have decisions. Remember, I can do whatever I want.
When you subscribe to the YouTube channel Fantasy Bros MLB, you're entered automatically when you comment on a video to win this bad boy, Jose Ramirez autographed jersey. Again, ring the bell till it goes ding, so you never miss a moment of fantasy baseball goodness. We've also got the Psycho shows happening as well over the weekend to help you with more of the waiver wire pickups. Our waiver stuff is out there. Our trade stuff is out there. Mayor and Worm put their stuff out there too for you guys on the weekend to take a look at. So you are prepared. But again, continue to support the channel, share the channel. We love it. Yes, go ahead.
Do you see this? You're going to love this. Michael in the chat said, Welsh, if I come to Philly, he'll treat me to some cheesesteak. See, the fans, they love
Jersey.
But they want me to come. I've never been to Philly, but I will take you up on that offer.
Have you been to the East Coast at all?
Tennessee is the only place on the East Coast I've been. Then no, I haven't. It seemed very easty to me. It's the most east I've been.
If Tennessee seems easty for you, I cannot wait to introduce you to my old neighborhood in Brooklyn. That will be the most easty you could possibly fathom. It's gonna be a good time. Although it might be a little bit more Russian nowadays than
about to say. I'm very westy. I grew up in the Bay Area, so I know that part. But yes, never been to New York, never Philly, never Florida, never any of them. I want to do it. I want to be a jet flying son of a gun and see all of you guys.
Yeah,
but,
you got it.
We'll have to wait.
Yeah, come on. And look. Philly, I love the cheesesteaks. I went to school in Philadelphia. I lived there for a couple years after. Philly is a great city. It's one of my favorite places to eat, drink, and be merry. it's tough to live there a long period of time when you're from New York. There's just little idiosyncratic things about Philadelphia. But if I had to pick another city to live, actually, I think living in Philly is better than living in New York. I'll be honest with you, 100%. Sometimes New York is just too much. Philly's a little bit more laid back. And I think now that I'm more laid back, I think I can handle it a little better. By the way, I made Michael do all this work, and it's his birthday, so I want to have some fun. It's a fun Friday. We talked about the Jared Kelenic brand. We didn't do this yesterday, did we?
Oh, right? Yeah, he has like a whole. No, we didn't do this at all. Okay, well, you should refresh. You should refresh it though.
I'm gonna refresh for everybody. So, stupid Joey P. Remember that Jared Kelenic had his own brand of clothing, his own website, and all these things that Jared Kelenic had promoting Jared Kelenic. Before there was Shedeur Sanders, Jared Kelenic was legendary. And it was all these videos about him training and the grind, and you could see him working out and all these things. And he had do we have the Jared Kelenic merch picture too of what the logo was? There it is, JK. And it turned out to be prophetic because he said, Jared, are you a baseball player, right? He goes, no, JK.
Gonna be an all-star, JK. That's actually, JK. The logo's kind of fire, but it has like a really, it has an unfortunate, connotation.
Also unfortunate, has not been updated since 2021, so that's a long
What do you think would happen if you bought one right now? Do you think it would even like go anywhere?
No, you can't. I tried.
Oh my god,
on it, and just got sent down. I thought it could use a couple bucks, but you can't. It's no longer available. It's a dead link. So
the Chesapeake,
but the videos you can watch of him working out and training.
That.
Yeah, so there you go. So you might have to go to eBay to get the Jared Kelenic merch, but it's a cautionary tale, careful before you get too big for your britches. You might want to have a little bit of a career first. Then you can get big for your britches like me. JK. My britches so small compared to.
What would your logo be? We need, what we need? We need someone out there.
It's a bald head.
Let's see if we can do a better Jared Kelenic logo. We need a Joey P one and a Welsh one. Would it be Welsh?
What does that mean, Cincy? PW? Longtime podcast listener, first time catching live. Joey P never sounded bald. I'm shocked. What? We've been on YouTube for 3 years. I'm on television every single week for at least 5. Yeah. What does sounding bald mean? What does it even mean, Welsh?
I mean, that's kind of your brand, so I don't know.
Sounding bald?
No, bald. Like you're just bald. Like I had somebody do that a long time ago. Bald, they thought like Bogman was tall and I was some short, like loud guy or whatever. And it's like, okay, like I can't put into what you guys hear our visual as. Like if you only listen to us, you've created some version.
We should find people who just listen and never watch the show to draw what they think we look like and then show them on the show. Maybe in the next couple weeks.
Go.
There you go. There you go.
By the way, Labello just said Marte's playing today. Marte today, officially in. Boom. Oh, wait, Marte texts me. There you go.
See? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. There you go. Great. On that note, that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your weekend.
Peace. Going to see Thunderbolts.
Oh, it's great. You guys, you can meet Cattell in Philadelphia and go get cheesesteaks with all your friends.
Maybe he could send his plane to come pick me up.
Yeah, sure. Private jet to pick up Welsh.
That'll get me to the East Coast.
Maybe Jackson Merrill can go too.
Won't be Kelenic.